So I'll go ahead and hop in. So you'll see here, we're looking at board management. One thing you'll notice is with surveys, we now have the ability to toggle over to that application. So I'm here in board management, I'm gonna click over to surveys. And as it comes up, you can see a list here of all the things, what's created, if it's open or closed, if there's a close date associated to it, and really kind of digging in, getting into a new survey. You can see here, I'm getting a preview of the experience of what I've already built. I didn't want to take you through the boring process of me building about a bunch of questions here, but I will show you what the editor looks like. So as I get in here, if I wanted to add a question, I can go ahead and add that. And I can say something like, how would you rate the overall effective of the event? And so you can see here, I've got a couple of options as I do this. I've got the rating scale. I could switch the type of question here if I want to. I could change stars to labels if I wanted to score out of 1 to 5 and adjust those 1 to 5. Maybe I wanted to add 1 to 10. I can duplicate the question, or I can mark it required to make sure that everybody has to complete that portion before I move forward. As you'll go, you'll see the changes are saving. I can also click done, but before I do that, I'm going to go into options. So you can see here, we've got some theming options, and then I also can make a thank you after someone submits. I can thank them for engaging in that survey. So all of that's here and applied. And so I'm going to go ahead and click done. Once I've done that, I can see, again, that experience of the preview. And then I'm going to go to publish and send. So as I go to this next place, I'm going to say, you know what, I'm done editing. I'm ready to actually get this survey in people's hands and I want to publish it. So I can choose to set an end date, which if I do that, it's going to close that survey and not accept responses after that end date. So let's just go ahead and say that I'm going to make it for this Friday at 12 p.m. Ooh, maybe a.m. And so as I do that, I can hit publish. It's going to set that survey to live. And now I can also see when the close date is for that survey. So now that it's there, it's live, I can go in, I can edit that close date. I could close the survey manually if I wanted to do it beforehand. But now I've got a couple of options to get it in people's hands. So there's send and track, which I'll show you here in a second. And there's also share by link. So if you wanted to just grab the hyperlink and throw it in an email or somewhere else where you share information with the board, you have that ability to go grab that hyperlink and do that. But what we're going to share here is where it really is powerful from the board management side. And so I can say, please complete this by Friday, which will show up in the body of the text in the email that the recipients are going to get. And then I can go in and I can choose my list from my boardable groups. So I'm going to say, you know what, I want to send this to my board. If there's other people that I wanted to send it to, I could also send that to them as well. So I can create that and put all of those folks in. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit send. And I know that it got sent. So what this is going to look like from the recipient side is I'm going to get this email. It's got that text in the body here asking for my completion. And then I'm going to go to fill out survey so you can see what the recipient experience looks like as well. So now I'm here. I can go through. I can fill out this survey. I've got all of these things that I can put in here. And go and through to the point of, I've got different pages here. There's long text, there's short text, there's multi-select. There's a lot of optionality within what you can build within the survey itself. And you can fill all those out. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit. And I get that thank you message here at the end. So we're going to act like some time went by. And we're going to head back to the results. And what you can see is along the way, you can track how people are engaging with the survey. So you can see how many were completed, how many have not started. It's giving you all this information about the folks that you sent it to. The beautiful thing about it is right here, I can then go in and see the data analysis in real time within surveys. So I can head here, look at how people answered the questions, be able to change how I see those if I want to see it in a different format, be able to move those things around if I think that this is a bar instead of a vertical bar. Gives you a lot of optionality with how you take a look at the individual or the aggregated information. And then you also have the ability to see those individual responses that folks submitted. And where we really kind of bring this full circle is going back to that track tab. I'm going to say, you know what? this is important. I want to make sure that we can talk about this in the next board meeting, but I don't want everybody to have to like see the information in real time and then have to process it and then bring their feedback. They've already gone through this survey. Let's let them take a look at the aggregated data so that they have an informed opinion coming into that board meeting and it can enrich our discussion. So I'm going to go ahead to export results. I want them to be able to see a PDF of that analysis, that visual analysis. I'm going to throw it in my survey results within board management, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So then when I head back to board management, excuse me, I can go into my documents and survey results, and then those responses are there in PDF format for me to be able to see, which makes it really easy for me to do all of the things that I want to do with any other document, which would be something like attaching it to a meeting, right? So if I go back to my homepage, let's go to this Q1 board meeting. We're going to see on the agenda here that we've got the annual event retrospective as part of that. I'm going to go ahead and say that one of those agenda items is we want to review the feedback. So I can go here, I can attach that document. And now this is a part of our board packet. So now when I generate the board packet, it's going to be involved, that those survey results are there for people to see. Brings the ability to kind of take that survey and bring it full circle. So I'm not just pushing things out. I'm being able to aggregate that data, bring it back to the place where I know people are going to interact with it and allow them to take a look. That's really it when it comes to a pretty simple workflow for surveys to be ingrained within the board management workflow. And yeah, I'm really excited for you all to get in and start trying it.